We've all been there at some point. Those moments when life feels like it's crumbling around us, when we're stuck in what seems like an endless cycle of negativity, when even saying we're good feels like a stretch. But here's what I've discovered. Rock bottom isn't our endpoint, it's actually an ingredient for propulsion. It's a launching pad that can catapult us toward transformation if we approach it with the right mindset. When I hit my lowest points, I realized that remaining positive in problematic circumstances wasn't just nice, it was necessary. Rock bottom presented me with an opportunity for growth unlike anything I'd experienced before. I remember being stranded at an airport once, flight delayed, everyone frustrated and angry. The gate agent was getting absolutely hammered from all sides by irate passengers. When it was my turn to approach the counter, I made a conscious choice to stay pleasant and positive. Not only did this make our interaction better, but she actually went out of her way to help me. Although my request seemed like a long shot, the gate agent felt more inclined to assist me because, like her, I'd remained positive in a challenging situation. That's the thing about positivity. People naturally gravitate toward those who treat them with respect, even in difficult circumstances. I've seen in sales and small business that simply treating people right or sharing a laugh can help us get that extra information or assistance when we need it most. The fact is, we can come out better in every situation just by choosing a better word, by refusing to let circumstances dictate our attitude. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That's easy to say when things aren't that bad. But what about when life truly falls apart? Look, it's not always easy to remain positive when we're grieving, feeling unfulfilled, or stuck in a toxic cycle. We might even feel a sense of dread as we potentially head downward. But if we don't accept that despite our circumstances, things can get better and put in the work to get there, we'll remain in the pit we've dug for ourselves. When we find ourselves at rock bottom, it can feel as though life has dealt us an insurmountable blow. But rock bottom isn't a life sentence. Take 25-year-old Yusra Mardini, who became a member of the refugee Olympic athletes and won the 100-meter butterfly heat race in the 2016 Rio Summer Olympics. Growing up in Damascus during the Syrian civil war, the odds were stacked against her, but she refused to let her circumstances define her future. So how do we escape rock bottom? It starts with identifying the negative patterns and behaviors that got us there in the first place. This requires honest introspection and a willingness to confront our shortcomings. Maybe it's turning on the TV instead of going to the gym, or talking down to our kids when we promised we wouldn't. When I started to adopt a great attitude as part of my one word to be better approach, I noticed my negative attitude was still holding me back. Breaking the habit of grumbling or simply replying with good thanks was instinctive. I would kick myself often for forgetting that I wasn't just good, but great. So I decided to make it a game. I began keeping score of how many times I said something mundane like good, fine, or well. It made me mindful of what I said or thought, making me less likely to repeat those negative patterns. I took it a step further, earning a point whenever I could replace those words with great, excellent, or something more enthusiastic. I aimed to score more than yesterday, which kept me conscious of my word choices until my desired reply became instinctive. One practical approach is shifting from a victimhood mentality to one of empowerment. This doesn't mean denying our reality, but rather acknowledging our power to respond differently. Another critical step is extracting value from our situation. Even in the darkest moments, there is potential for growth and learning. While working on this book, I discovered one of my close friends had only a few months to live. After accepting his reality, my friend asked if I would help him complete some things on his bucket list. Though heartbreaking, it gave me a new perspective on how we can live in the face of death. Every setback carries valuable lessons and insights to guide us toward a better future and a life without regrets. The skills I learned during my lowest points, working odd jobs at places like Joe's, became invaluable when I went on to work at my first corporate jobs. What seemed like rock bottom at the time was actually preparing me for future success. By focusing on the blessings that emerge from adversity, we shift our energy toward more positive experiences and can slowly climb out of rock bottom with a smile. This doesn't mean pretending everything is fine when it isn't. It means acknowledging the reality while choosing to respond with optimism and resilience. Remember, as the famous Persian adage goes, this too shall pass. The fact that things are rough now doesn't mean they always will be. With the right attitude, we can use our circumstances as a springboard for a brighter future. You might not realize it, but we're at a turning point right now. Every battle starts in our minds, and whenever we're ready, we can rise above rock bottom and be better than we were yesterday simply by changing one word. That's the power of the one word to be better philosophy. Even at our lowest point, choosing a better word, choosing to be great instead of just good, can begin to shift our perspective and ultimately transform our lives. So, the next time we find ourselves at rock bottom, remember, it's not our final destination. It's just the starting point for our comeback story. And what a story it will be.